And we can thank Mr. Richard Dana in the back for this name, but Futures for Former Felons and Families. And we didn't want that title to be offensive, but at the same time, we wanted that title because we were very specific about who we wanted here today. At Community Action, we're very involved out in the public. We have empowerment workshops where we're meeting with individuals at adult parole. We're actually in the prison doing workshops there as well. And with everyone who comes through any one of our many programs throughout our entire agency, we hear day after day the challenge and obstacle that exists for individuals who have felony barriers when it comes to getting things like information about the driver's license reinstatement program, or who do I talk to about getting a child support modification, or even what is that? Obviously there's transportation issues, there's the job. How do I get a resume created? Who even hires individuals with felony barriers? So in response to these ongoing issues, we work on a daily basis with so many other agencies here in the county. We said, you know what, let's get all of our partner agencies together under one roof and allow people to come from the public who have these issues so they can get all of their questions answered and move one step forward to being self-sufficient and independent. So when you look around the room, you're going to see many different representatives here today. Some are just here in spirit, but others are actually here, and maybe they'll fill in later. But if you have questions about any one individual that you see at a table that's not here, we can probably answer that question for you or give you information about that entity at our Community Action 211 table in the back, okay? Today is very informal. For anyone who needs some sort of documentation that you were here, we can provide that to you. And if you just came because you wanted to get some information on how to move yourself forward, you and or your family, then we welcome you. We're going to just give a shout out to every individual agency that did come out today, just so you can learn a little bit about why you would want to go to their table, what they can help you with. We're planning on having a little 30-second commercial, but PowerPoint and Microsoft don't like each other. So we're going to forego that. We will have another video playing throughout the day. And just know that any one of the individuals that you see here, if you want to meet with them after learning about why they're here to serve you today, if you want to meet with them, we have a private area where you can meet with them one-on-one to learn more or to talk more about the actual details of your personal situation, okay? For anyone that you see standing up, milling about, if you have questions, even where are the restrooms, or we need some more coffee, whatever it is, please let somebody know. Today is all about you, so please don't hesitate to ask those questions that you probably always wanted to have answered and didn't know where to go. You're here, and we're hoping that you can gather that information today, or at least a little bit of information that'll move you forward to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. If you want to do more with the information that you have here today, please know that we have a program at Community Action. All you have to do is call 211. You can ask for Alyssa. My name is Tiffany Reed, and we will work with you one-on-one towards co-creating your short and long-term goals. You'll probably be meeting in the future with any one of the individuals that you meet here today as part of those short and long-term goals, but you aren't in this alone. These vendors came because they wanted to provide you the information and help be a part of the process that moves you forward. So today is your day. Ask questions, spend as much or as little time as you need at every table. And again, don't feel bad asking for some quality one-on-one time. We're here for 4 hours, so you don't have to be here that whole time, but just know that we will make ourselves available for you. Any questions? I would say here's some housekeeping notes and tell you where the restroom is at, but I don't know. So Marna?
Hello, I'm Andrew Kellner, and I'm from Ashtabula County Technical and Career Campus here in Jefferson. Part of what I'm here for is to just give you guys some opportunities for workforce development. They call it vocational services as well, just to help market yourself in a different field, something you're different if you're interested in. And also we have our ABLE program, which is our adult basic and literacy program, which is designed to help get your GEDs if that is your first step and you need that. And I'm here to answer any questions, and I have plenty of materials for you to take with you. Thank you.
My name is Cray. I'm with the Ashtabula County Community Action Agency. I run the Truck Driving Academy. I'm the Director of Vocational Services. So everybody needs a good job, right? It's what you're here for. What kind of money do you want to make? What kind of impact do you want to make with your family? We can help you with those things. Truck drivers make a lot of money. And ladies, we only have about 6% of the driving population as female. And I formerly sat on the board of the Foundation for Women in Trucking. So I try to encourage every woman that I can to please come consider driving a truck, because we need you. The industry is just clamoring to have more women in the industry. So please stop and see us about your employment needs.
I'm the law librarian of the Ashtabula County Law Library. We have a lot of legal resources for you to do on your own. We do not dispense legal advice at the law library. However, we do give you the legal resources, and we have forms and things that you can do things on your own if needed. Stop by and we can talk some more.
Darlene Jones. I'm with the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles, the Reinstatement Office from Youngstown, and a lot of times people just don't know what's on their driving record and what's hindering them from getting the next job or going to the next level. So come by, let me pull up your record, let me explain to you what you need to do to get your license clear and show you where to go. And I also have some goodie bags, and we'll tell you if it applies to you, how to get on the payment plan and a little bit more information. So stop by and let me help you out with your driver license.
Compton. I'm with Catholic Charities, and we've got a number of different programs that help people with housing and security deposits, rental problems that you're having. Also, we have programs for parenting classes. We have some counselors for financial literacy training, learning how to live on a budget, those kind of issues. And we've got a list of other programs that we have there where we provide food services, things like that, all kinds of things. Also, I guess that I'm a family services caseworker there, but I'm also a retired deputy warden from the prison system, and so I have a pretty good idea of where you have come from. I've been in the prison system for 25 years prior to this. So if you have any questions or anything about Catholic Charities, come see us.
Our Community Counseling Center. We're involved with the Second Chance Citizen Circle as well. We do a lot of mental health treatment, psychiatry, case management, and counseling, as well as addiction treatment. And we have funds from the county for folks coming back to Ashtabula County out of the prisons who have severe mental illness and addiction. But also we have a supported employment program, so we help folks that have employment barriers due to their mental health, and we help them obtain and keep employment as well. So we do all kinds of supportive things for families as well. So come chat with me if you're interested.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm from Ashtabula County Child Support. Myself and Jody can help you with any questions you may have about your child support case. Maybe you need a modification. Maybe your driver's license is suspended. We can help you get it reinstated. You can go to our neighbor here as well. You might have attorney questions or issues that you might need addressed, so stop over and we can help you out.
My name is Rachel. I'm here representing College Now of Greater Cleveland. We're a large organization that works a lot with high schools, but we also have an entire adult learner section. And we do before, during, and after college, all of the resources you could need, thinking about career exploration, information on different programs, applying to those programs, getting funding for those programs, getting money while you're in college for books, and help, registering for classes. And then afterward, we also help find jobs. We help get through loans, finding different resources for loan repayment and even loan forgiveness. Definitely come talk to us. We are located in Cleveland and Barberton, but you can sign up today for October 6th. We're going to be here doing the FAFSA, the federal or the free application for federal student aid. So definitely come talk to us today.
Look at that.
I feel like a lounge singer. My name is Tom Wormuth from the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. I'm the Justice Reinvestment Officer. I'm here today to talk a little bit about the CQE, the Certificate of Qualification for Employment. I do believe, Tiffany, I've got 10-15 minutes, right,
Yes,
to go over
you
that, so I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail
Yes.
now, but I'll get that message out to you here in a little bit.
Good afternoon, my name is Russell Hauser. I'm a paralegal with the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland. Legal Aid provides high-quality legal services to low-income people in Northeast Ohio. We serve 5 counties in Northeast Ohio, including Ashtabula. We handle civil cases, so if you have any problems related to housing, Social Security, public benefits such as food stamps or Medicaid, or even consumer issues such as foreclosure and filing bankruptcy, then we can at least put someone on your case and evaluate your situation and see where to go from there. I may not be able to get too specific when it comes to individual situations, but our intake department is open today. So if you have any questions or any comments, you can stop by the table. I can give you the number for our intake department, and we can see where we can go from there.
My name is Michelle, and this is my coworker Pauline. We are both employment service representatives at Ohio Means Jobs. We have our own little separate room over here to help you guys set up Ohio Means Jobs accounts, get you started on your job search. We have information about different workshops that we offer on topics ranging from resume writing skills, how to apply your job skills, to the job market. So stop in and see us if you have any questions. That's perfect.
Keo Castrillo from Signature Health. We are a medical and behavioral health agency. We're located in the Ashtabula Hotel downtown in the beautiful Ashtabula. We provide a lot of services that may be of assistance to those in the reentry process. We are a reentry friendly agency. We provide a lot of involvement in some of the things that Tiffany has talked about doing before with reentry workshops and working with Citizen Circle and some of those kinds of things. So I'd be glad to talk with you and give you some information, further information on what we do.
My name is James Mayer. I work at Wells Fargo, but I'm kind of here for Growth Partnership. On November 12th, we have a program called the Financial Fitness Fair. It'll be at this establishment here at Kent. Once you've got your good truck driving job, we'll help you come up with a strategy to develop a budget with the help of Catholic Charities, get the proper legal documents everyone should have, ways to avoid predatory lending, and all financial aspects of your life to get you on a good path.
Do I need this?
I don't know.
Can you guys hear me? In the back? Everybody good? My name is Tom Wormuth. I'm with the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. I'm a Justice Reinvestment Officer who's here to talk about the Certificate of Qualification for Employment. So from now on, I'm Tom from ODRC, that's a JRO, to talk to you about the CQE. We are an agency of acronyms and abbreviations, unlike any other except maybe the military. I was doing a presentation, actually it was at Ohio Means Jobs down close to where I live, and I was speaking for 10 or 15 minutes, and in the back, this young lady raises her hand, and I'm like, yes, you have a question? She goes, what's DRC? So I spent 15 minutes talking about DRC, and nobody knew who that was. But it's the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. I am a parole officer by trade, but the last 4.5 years, myself and 7 others in the state have been doing this position called the Justice Reinvestment Officer, or JRO. We wear many hats, we have many responsibilities. I serve the common pleas courts in 10 counties in the Northeast, and 3 of our 28 prisons that fall within those 10 counties. So here in Ashtabula, Lake Erie Correctional is one of the 3 institutions where I have some duties. I actually got my start here in Ashtabula about 17.5 years ago, and worked here for about 5 years as a parole officer. So other than visiting Jefferson and visiting the courthouse with what I did now, I drove through the city of Ashtabula for the first time in 12, 13 years. So it was kind of cool. I'm like, I remember that place. I remember that house. I remember that street. You know, so it was kind of neat coming here. So I appreciate everybody being here, and especially appreciate the invitation to have me along. I don't want to get too long-winded. Giving me a mic and a stage is a mistake usually, because I will talk for 2 hours. The CQE, the Certificate of Qualification for Employment, is one of the many things that JROs work with. We're sort of the middleman. Has anybody here ever heard of the CQE? Few? A few. Now, out of those few, how many fully understand it, or do they think it can be a complicated process? Okay, it's, you know, I was in on our department's part of it since its inception. Myself and one of my colleagues from the Northwest region, and one gentleman from Columbus. So it's my pet project, so to speak. Does it need work? Absolutely. There's some pending legislation now to try to tweak the process to make it a little more global, a little more encompassing of some needs. The certificate came out of Senate Bill 337, which was passed in 2012, signed into law maybe late 2012. Don't quote me on months or dates, but then the CQE actually became active in the spring of 2013. It came out of the collateral sanctions bill. And does anybody know what a collateral sanction is? That gentleman on that video referred to them. A collateral sanction is something that a person with a criminal record is facing later in life, whether it's a year out of prison or off probation, or 10 or 15 years, 20 years off of probation or parole or out of prison, that has nothing to do with their offense. My wife's a dental hygienist. My wife had a simple felony 5 theft. Say we fell on hard times. She did some stuff at a Walmart, they caught her. It was enough to be a felony. She loses her license. Okay? What does that theft or any of the punishment that comes with that felony have to do with cleaning teeth? Nothing. All right, so House Bill 86, which was passed a couple years before, was sentence reform. It dealt with everybody and anyone who was in the criminal justice system, or whether they knew it or not, about to be in the criminal justice system. Okay, so our legislature said, well, what about these folks who are dealing with these things that happened a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? I've talked to some folks who are still suffering collateral sanctions from 30 plus years ago. Stuff from the 70s, I've heard. Okay, so they said, we need to look at that. And that was the impetus, the reason Senate Bill 337 came about, was to deal with collateral sanctions. So if anything, I really encourage anybody who's dealing with those collateral sanctions or have clients that are dealing with those collateral sanctions, review Senate Bill 337. Now, the summary in itself is 80 plus pages, just the summary, but the summary is enough to give you an idea of what might be available to you that you didn't know about. It addressed child support, and folks that are here at these agencies, help me out if I'm not correct. It addressed BMV, child support, some employment barriers, I think sealing of the record a little bit, tweaked it a little. So there's a lot of things that were in that bill that's worthwhile information. But real quick, I'm going to talk about the CQE just in general. I'm going to try to condense an hour into 5 or 10 minutes. The Certificate of Qualification of Employment is a tool to assist those with criminal records in obtaining employment and or vocational licensure. I referenced my wife a little bit ago, who's a registered dental hygienist. The state of Ohio has to license her to practice. Some criminal records, if not many of them, keep folks from engaging in vocations that require licensure simply because of that criminal record. So the legislature said, look, let's formulate a tool that we can use so folks can try to at least get over that barrier. Certificate of Qualification for Employment does that. Anybody who's granted a Certificate of Qualification for Employment, the CQE, can then submit that with their application to a licensing body, whether it's the Industrial Labor Commission, whether it's the Board of Nursing or pharmacy, all those different folks, and say, look, yes, I know I have this, but under Ohio law, I've got this now, which means you can say yes to me. So it used to be a mandatory denial for that agency, even if they wanted you working in that field. Now it becomes a discretionary one. It doesn't say they have to do it, and it sure doesn't say that anybody has to employ you, but it's a step in the right direction. The CQE is granted by the Common Pleas Court in the county where you reside. So if you have a misdemeanor in Lake County, a felony in Cuyahoga County, but you live here in Ashtabula, that CQE is going to be granted by a judge at the Common Pleas Court here. The whole process starts on the website, which is drcque.com. So we can talk a little more in depth about it individually. I have some handouts up here that probably have those websites and some other caveats and whatnot to the whole process. Again, I will speak forever if someone doesn't stop me. Hit me in the head. Starts with you, and it starts online. It is an online process. And believe me, it may sound daunting to some folks because they got to do something on a computer, but trust me, it increases the effectiveness of the process. It makes the process quicker. It gives you the ability to go in there and get that certificate once it is granted as many times as you want. You don't have to worry about things coming in the mail, not getting it, and whatnot. There's resources out there. DRC's part of it was to create the online process, to collect and keep statistics, and to review those petitions completed by clients, your clients, folks sitting in this room, to review it for completeness, not content. So if you answer a question because I'm a lazy dog floating down the river, I can't tell you to change it because I'm not an attorney. Right? But it completed the question and gets moved on electronically to the court level. And so once you complete this online, it gets moved to me or whatever region, one of my 7 colleagues. We do our part. It's a small part. We attach some information to it if we have to. If you have any kind of history with the Department of Rehab and Corrections, whether you were in prison and or placed on parole or post-release control, that gets added. And then electronically we submit it to the court. When we do that, you'll get an email that says it's now time for you to print off what you filled out and file it with the clerk of courts, the Common Pleas Court where you reside. That's very important because I've had folks call me and say, hey, I went to Ashtabula Community Court and they're telling me they've never heard of this. I'm like, that's because they haven't. You got to go to the Common Pleas Court. So it's not where you were convicted, it's where it's the Common Pleas Court where you reside. Okay? The courts at that point have the brunt of the work to do. And everything I'm telling you is guided by legislation. The questions that are asked in the petition, the flow that it takes, the responsibilities that DRC have, and what the courts have to do is all dictated by the legislature. It's not by choice. So courts have probably, like I said, the brunt of it. They've got to do a complete investigatory process. They're going to contact all your courts of conviction for input in the matter. And once they have all that information, not from the date you actually file the petition, but 60 days from the date that the court feels it has all the information it needs to make a decision, they have to render that decision, whether in favor of or in denial of your request for a petition. Okay. Once that petition is granted, so let's think positive. Once it is granted, there's some changes made in that website which will then generate another email to you or your client that says, hey, congratulations, it's been granted. Go into the site under your username and password, and that certificate is going to be there for you as a PDF document for you to print off as many times as you need. To submit it with applications, to attach it to the journal entry that the court did, granting it and giving that to a prospective employer, whatever it may be. You're not going to have to make copy after copy of the same one. It will always be there for you. So, me just talk about one other thing. I want to talk about what the CQE does real quick at the end. But during this whole process, I'm here for you. I can't tell you how to fill out a question. We have reentry clinics. One of the biggest ones is Akron University. Professor Saul and her students are putting out 30, 40, 45 of these a month in some instances, just in Summit County. Okay? They have volunteers who do it, but it's grown. The CQE is not as popular in places like Ashtabula and Carroll County and some of the less populated rural counties, but Cuyahoga County, Summit County, Lucas County, where Toledo's at, Hamilton County, Cincinnati. It's huge. It's because of these grassroots efforts. But these grassroots efforts are expanding. We're here today talking about it, so that's proof right there in the pudding that that's taking place. So seek assistance from those. If you get down and you sit down and try to do this online, and you say, hey, you know, Tom, I'm just not getting it. I will try to figure out who in your area might be able to assist you. I can assist you with usernames and passwords and how to fill out certain pages, or how to get to them, navigate the site, how to print, things like that. I just can't offer any legal advice. I'd be crossing the line with that. So I suggest that more people do it on their own that need assistance. So try it out. There's nothing that says you can't just go and backtrack and we'll go from there. Okay? Real quick, because I don't want to overdo my time limits. The CQE does a few things. Okay? It gives you that backing of the court. That common police court judge says, yes, this person is worthy of being hired. We think they've been rehabilitated, and so on and so forth. And it means a lot to have that journal entry with the common police court judge's signature. So you get the backing of the court, one. Two, it can help you with vocational licensure, like I talked about. So what you may have not been able to work in before, you can now present that to that licensing body. Okay? But it's also good for general employment. And here's why. One we talked about was the courts backing. The third thing, and probably one of the most important things that it can do, is, first of all, let me ask this question. Why won't somebody hire a convicted felon? What are they afraid of? Do they think you can't do the job? No. What are they afraid of? Maybe, but I think that's there. What truly are they really afraid of? If I hire a convicted felon to work for my roofing crew, or whatever it may be, and they go into that person's house and clean them out, what is that person going to do after they file a police report? What are they going to do? Sue. They're going to sue, right? So guess what the CQE does? The CQE, by Ohio law, gives that employer immunity from negligent hiring practices. They can't be sued for taking a chance. That is their incentive to give you that chance, or your client's chance at employment. So you present those things. I got the back end of the court. I got the certificate that the legislature says means a lot. And not only that, look, Mr. Smith, take a chance on me, because here's your protection. Okay? If you ever come across an employer who says, I don't know what this CQE is, hey, this could be just a piece of paper that you printed, tell them no. I can't say you should, I cannot say on DRC's behalf to hire you or not hire you. I can't do that. Tom probably, if I need a person. I can't, for DRC, but what I can do is tell that prospective employer what that CQE does and what it means and what kind of legal protection they have just by hiring. Okay? That is CQE that big. All right. Any questions, concerns? I went quick. Sometimes that all goes. I know. I've been doing this speech for a long time, so a lot of times I miss things or not clear on things. Come see me. I'll be up there. If we need to talk privately, we can do so as well. Who up? All right.
Am I allowed to say that? I'm not at service.
Of course you can.
There you have it, folks. So before everybody rushes Tom's table,